Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Battle Through the Heavens Part 234 based on novel. So let's start. After that extermination-like aura swept out of Xiao Yan's body, his body lit on fire at this moment. Pink flames covered every part of his body. His skin, muscles, bones, cells, every part of Xiao Yan's body was filled by a pink flame at this moment. The pink flames fiercely burned. While the flames wildly spread, his body became crystal clear. It was even possible to see his internal organs through the flames. These internal organs were covered by a pink crystal layer at this moment. The green-red wings on Xiao Yan's back slowly morphed. Finally, they turned into a pair of huge pink wings. Looking from a distance, it was as though they had been made by transparent glass, appearing exceptionally mysterious. The extermination fire body was a method of unleashing the energy of the heavenly flame to its limit by merging it with one's physical body. This required almost perfect control of the heavenly flame because the heavenly flames were far too ferocious. Even though it had already been refined, the inside of a human's body was still too weak. No one dared to easily use the heavenly flame to alter one's constitution. Even Xiao Yan did not dare to do so, but after Little Yi appeared, this kind of hidden danger completely vanished. Little Yi and Xiao Yan were mentally connected. They were just like one. Little Yi was the spirit of a heavenly flame. No one in the world could compare with him in terms of controlling a heavenly flame. The harsh conditions required to form the exterminating fire body could also be met by him. This was the first time Xiao Yan had used this skill after leaving the demonic flame realm, but he was confident in the might of the extermination fire body. From a certain point of view, this kind of extermination fire body was just transforming oneself into a movable extermination fire lotus, allowing his attacks to be as terrifying as the fire lotus. However, the only disadvantage was that the Dochi one required to use the extermination fire body was far too frightening. Even with Xiao Yan's current strength, it was likely that he would not be able to use it for more than a minute. 1 minute would pass in the blink of an eye. However, this 1 minute could decide the victor in a fight when it came to genuine experts. The extermination aura that suddenly rippled out of the formation was detected by many members of the ancient dragon tribe outside. Immediately, many surprised gazes were thrown at Xiao Yan. What a frightening aura! In less than 3 years, his strength has actually progressed to such a level. Elder Zhu Li looked at Xiao Yan with an envious face. When he had first met Xiao Yan, he had still surpassed Xiao Yan slightly. Now, however, he had been tossed into some unknown corner. It looks like our ancient void dragon tribe will be saved. The other elders also revealed joyous faces. Originally, they thought that it was impossible to stop the crazy Northern Dragon King even with Xiao Yan's appearance. However, Xiao Yan caused them to rejoice. Ziyan, who had been observing the situation in front of everyone, revealed joy in her eyes. The aura that had suddenly erupted from Xiao Yan caused her to feel reassured. Someone who only knows how to put up a mystifying act. No one can change your fate today. The Northern Dragon King narrowed his scarlet eyes as Xiao Yan transformed. He let out a laugh. Although he spoke in a condescending manner, the caution in his heart greatly soared. The current Xiao Yan already made him feel some danger. He would have to pay an extremely miserable price if he was careless. His blood-colored hand quickly formed a seal as he cried out, "Blood Dragon, devour the sky!" Roar! The huge blood formation suddenly churned after the Northern Dragon King's cry sounded. An immeasurable amount of bloody Do-Chi gathered in the air above the Northern Dragon King. It vaguely formed a savage blood dragon that was larger than the entire Dragon Island. A voice filled with a violent and murderous desire slowly rang out. Bang bang! Many ancient dragon figures exploded within the Dragon Island after the bloody Do-Chi gathered. They turned into blood fog that was absorbed into the blood dragon, causing its body to grow a brighter red. On the other side of the blood formation, Kaling continued to rapidly throw members of the ancient dragon tribe out of the blood formation. Even though she was quick, many still exploded into a bloody mist. She knit her delicate brows and waved her hand. 10 seven-colored lights erupted from her. the rate she was rescuing those individuals soared. The transforming dragon demon formation can be considered the ultimate skill of my ancient dragon tribe. Those pieces of trash actually thought of destroying it? They were really extremely foolish. The madness on the face of the Northern Dragon King became even denser as he stared at the incomparably large blood dragon in the sky. He glanced at Xiao Yan a short distance in front of him. His body rose and finally turned into a blood glow that charged into the huge mouth of the blood dragon. After the Northern Dragon King charged into the blood dragon's body, the luster radiating from all parts of the blood dragon gathered on him. A dim blood light lingered around the surface of his body. Those huge dragon scales flicked with a chilling luster, giving them a lifelike appearance. Roar! The blood dragon's huge eyes contained an endless bloody aura as they focused on Xiao Yan in an icy and merciless fashion. The incomparably large body trembled as it opened its ferocious large mouth. A 10,000-foot large blood glow that contained a bloody aura, which caused one's expression to change, rushed toward Xiao Yan like a furious dragon. Be careful! The blood light shot out as Xi Yan warned Xiao Yan. She could sense a frightening force in the blood light. If someone were struck by it, even an elite 5-star doshan would likely suffer a serious injury. Ha ha, Xiao Yan, since you have delivered yourself to me, I shall help take your life. The Northern Dragon King's proud roar reverberated across the empty realm as he watched the blood light penetrate the void. Xiao Yan's eyes were slowly opened as he faced the Northern Dragon King's roar. Both of his black eyes became crystal clear, but the fire lotus within his body rotated in a terrifying way. Such strength! Xiao Yan lowered his head and swiftly observed his current situation. His pink glass-like face revealed his intoxication. He was currently the purifying demonic lotus flame. If he possessed sufficient Do Qi, Xiao Yan could even unleash the destructive might of the purifying demonic lotus flame. He could burn mountains and boil the sea by just raising his hand. There was no limit to this heavenly flame. Both man and flame had completely merged together. The only person across the entire Do Qi continent who could reach this level was just Xiao Yan. An incomparably searing hot aura was slowly spat from Xiao Yan's mouth. He lifted his head and glanced at the blood light rapidly magnifying in his eyes. The corners of his mouth were curled. However, he did not prepare any defenses. The fire wings on his back were gently flapped. After which, he turned into a fire meteorite in front of many shocked eyes. He collided head-on with the blood light. They collided at that moment, but everyone's eyes shrunk as the bloody light, which was filled with a frightening bloody energy that could easily defeat a 5-star doshan, quickly dimmed upon contact. Everyone's eyes watched as the light that had penetrated through the void swiftly weakened the moment of the collision. Moreover, it started to slowly deform as it weakened at a shocking speed. A falling star-like figure flashed with lightning-like speed at the same time. The blood light collapsed with just a touch when the two made contact. Moreover, it had collapsed without any resistance. Bang! The blood light finally became illusory in front of the eyes of the blood dragon, which was filled with disbelief. The firelight figure continued to fly over like a falling star. It was swiftly magnified in his eyes. This king will not fail. Up against Xiao Yan's wild and violent attack, a crazy expression began to surge within the eyes of the blood dragon that the Northern Dragon King had merged with. He was all alone already. If he were to lose, he would no longer find an opportunity to turn things around. Roar! A glaring blood light crazily erupted from the blood dragon's enormous body. It gathered within its large ferocious mouth at a shocking speed. Finally, it turned into a dark 5-foot large bead condensed from blood. The surface of the bloody bead was covered in lines that appeared like blood vessels. An incomparably bloody scent spread through the empty realm. The blood bead had just appeared when the craziness within the Northern Dragon King's eyes surged. He ruthlessly shot the bead at Xiao Yan in front of him. The blood dragon immediately began to crumble after the blood bead shot away, as though all of its energy had left with the blood bead. Dragon Soul Bead. This bastard didn't even let off the souls of the tribe members. The eyes of those ancient void dragons outside of the blood formation quickly turned a bloody red after catching sight of the blood-colored bead. The Northern Dragon King had not only devoured the flesh of many from the tribe, he had also not let off their souls. Xiao Yan's delicate figure trembled. The murderous desire within her eyes was extremely dense. The Northern Dragon King did not care about the fury of the others. His scarlet eyes continued to stare at Xiao Yan, who flying over. Xiao Yan then collided with the blood bead. A cruel and savage smile was immediately lifted on his face. Xiao Yan, go and die? The blood bead whistled through the empty space. Finally, it smashed into Xiao Yan in front of many pairs of eyes. At that moment, everyone's heart suddenly tightened. No one can hinder this king. The scarlet eyes of the Northern Dragon King stared intently at the point of collision. A wild laugh escaped his mouth, but this laughter had barely started when it was suddenly halted. He was just like a duck whose throat had been broken. Xiao Yan displayed a calm expression that the shocked Northern Dragon King took in with his eyes. A circular lifelike pink fire wave spread from his palm. At the middle of the fire wave was the blood bead, which contained an endless bloody scent, but at this moment, the bloody aura contained in the blood bead swiftly paled as purifying demonic lotus flame purified it. How is this possible? Just which heavenly flame is this? The Northern Dragon King immediately roared out when he saw the blood bead slowly rotating over Xiao Yan's palm. It had not exploded. After the blood bead had landed in Xiao Yan's hands, the Northern Dragon King had sensed that his connection with it had been cut. The purifying demonic lotus flame can purify all things. Even souls can be purified by it. Xiao Yan's pink crystal-like hand slowly rose. A pink flame whistled from it and surrounded the blood bead. The bloody aura in the bead was swiftly being purified. Purifying demonic lotus flame? How can this brat actually possess the purifying demonic lotus flame? The Northern Dragon King suddenly narrowed his eyes. Even though he felt extremely furious in his heart, a chill still surged from it. The reputation of the purifying demonic lotus flame was something that the ancient Void Dragon tribe was familiar with, even though they had not traveled to the Central Plains in many years. Xiao Yan ignored the shock of the Northern Dragon King. A flame danced in his hand as he slowly lifted up. A pale pink light ball the size of a human head appeared in his hand. It was the blood ball from earlier. However, the blood aura within it had been completely purified, and Xiao Yan could sense the lingering souls within it. They were the souls of the members of the ancient dragon tribe the Northern Dragon King had devoured. The people inside are begging me to return this to you. Xiao Yan glanced at the Northern Dragon King and smiled. He flicked his finger. The human head-sized pink bead suddenly shot out. This time around, its target was the Northern Dragon King. Bastard! Shock immediately surged onto the Northern Dragon King's face after seeing this bead target him. He turned around and withdrew without uttering anything else. He was too aware of just how terrifying the energy within the dragon bead was. If he was struck by it, he would really be finished this time around. Although the Northern Dragon King pulled back quickly, the pink bead was even faster. Many human faces surfaced on the pink bead as it rapidly flew. They looked at the Northern Dragon King with all the fury they felt. A light flashed and swiftly flew toward the Northern Dragon King. After which, it caught up with the Northern Dragon King in front of many pairs of eyes before exploding in front of his stunned shrunken eyes. Bang! A frightening energy storm wildly swept apart from the point of explosion. Wave after wave of the energy storm scattered over half of the bloody dochi that had filled the Dragon Island below. Has he won? The members of the ancient Void Dragon tribe widened their mouths as they stared at the terrifying energy storm. They faced each other. A moment later, a wild joy quickly surged in their eyes. Cheers rebounded across the sky like thunder. Mr. Xiao Yan is extraordinarily strong. He is even able to purify the bloody dochi in the Dragon Soul Bead. Those elders from the Eastern Dragon Island revealed joyous faces from having escaped a calamity. It seemed that the heavens did not intend to eliminate their tribe. The Dragon Emperor's good friend is really a blessing to our ancient dragon tribe. Mr. Xiao Yan has repeatedly rescued our tribe. We will never be able to repay this grand favor. Elder Zhu Li fondled his beard. He immediately glanced at the first elder of the Eastern Dragon Island and the others. Mr. Xiao Yan has indeed blessed our ancient dragon tribe us with a grand favor. The first elder hesitated and nodded after noticing Elder Zhu Li's eyes. He continued in a low voice, I understand your meaning. Once our ancient dragon tribe reunites, our tribe will ally with the Sky Mansion Alliance. Elder Zhu Li only smiled and nodded after hearing this reply. Ziyang had mentioned forming an alliance with the Sky Mansion Alliance 2 years ago, but there had been many different opinions expressed back then. Hence, a decision had not been reached, but Xiao Yan had once again intervened and rescued them. Given this favor, no one could afford to object again. Ziyang sighed in relief within her heart after hearing the conversation between Elder Zhu Li and the first elder. These stubborn old fellows were finally willing to abandon their old pride and agree to the alliance, which would significantly benefit both parties. The energy storm, which had originated from the explosion, raged for a moment while everyone's faces were filled with joy. Only then did it slowly disappear. An unusually miserable figure appeared in front of everyone after the storm scattered. The Northern Dragon King is still alive. Many people felt somewhat startled in their hearts when they noticed that the Northern Dragon King was still hanging onto his life by a breath despite appearing extremely miserable with a relatively sluggish aura. Even such a frightening attack could not kill this fellow. This person's life was indeed incomparably strong. The body of an ancient void dragon is indeed strong. Xiao Yang studied this scene. His brow was slightly lifted. He naturally understood that the Northern Dragon King would have already been turned into dust if he had not relied on the strength of his physical body. The Northern Dragon King heavily panted as his dim and scarlet eyes cut at Xiao Yang in an extremely vicious manner. He had never expected to end up being seriously injured by Xiao Yang's hands. Xiao Yang, you better remember this. This king will definitely return and have his revenge. Although he had managed to retain his life, the Northern Dragon King was also extremely weak. He ferociously glared at Xiao Yan as he let out a furious roar. After which, his body suddenly shot backwards. It seemed like he was planning to escape. Do not allow him to escape. Ziyang immediately became anxious upon realizing he was attempting to flee. She hurriedly cried out. Last time around this fellow had managed to escape and had caused the trouble they were dealing with now. If he were allowed to flee again, the ancient dragon clan would never be at peace. Of course, a reminder was unnecessary. Given Xiao Yang's character, he would naturally not allow a threat to escape. Hence, the fire wings on his back were flapped as soon as the Northern Dragon King moved. He immediately began to chase down the Northern Dragon King with lightning-like speed. You wish to kill this king? In your dreams. The eyes of the Northern Dragon King turned cold after Xiao Yan closed in from behind. He waved his hand and 10 figures flew from the Northern Dragon Island. After which, they thrown toward Xiao Yan like cannonballs. Xiao Yan frowned when he noticed that this Dragon King was attempting to use flesh bombs. The speed he was progressing at slowed. He was preparing to rescue those human figures when 10 7-colored lights suddenly shot from behind him. They whistled and wrapped around the 10 figures before moving them out of the blood formation. Quickly capture that fellow. Kaylin's voice echoed beside Xiao Yan's ear as she resolved the problem regarding those flesh bombs. I? Xiao Yan sighed in relief once these obstructions were eliminated. He did not have time to say anything more as the fire wings on his back were flapped. His speed suddenly soared. Within a couple of flashes, he had appeared above the Northern Dragon King's head. A cold laugh appeared as his crystal hand reached for the Northern Dragon King's head at a lightning-like speed in front of the Northern Dragon King's panicked eyes. This king will fight it out with all of you. A ruthlessness filled the Northern Dragon King's heart along with a panic when Xiao Yang was hot on his heels. A seal was formed with both hands before his body began to rapidly. From the looks of it, he was actually planning on self-destructing. It was naturally impossible for Xiao Yang to allow the fight to end by receiving a serious injury at this moment, so an enormous spiritual illusory figure quickly appeared on the surface of his body. The yellow spring divine anger ruthlessly smashed into the Northern Dragon King's body. The powerful spiritual attack caused the Northern Dragon King's soul to feel an intense pain as his swelling body also shrank. The Northern Dragon King's head felt a chill after he forcefully suppressed the intense pain emitted from his soul. Xiao Yan's hand had gently landed on the top of his head. "Don't kill me. You win, you win. I will not bother about the matters of the Three Great Dragon Island. In the future, I will no longer be the Northern Dragon King." The body of the Northern Dragon King stiffened when Xiao Yan's hand landed on his head. A hurried cry was emitted from his mouth. "Ha ha, you really change your stance too quickly," Xiao Yan smiled and spoke as he scanned the Northern Dragon King in front of him. "Let me go. I will never appear in front of any of you in the future." The Northern Dragon King raised his hands. His scarlet eyes were flickering. "Not a bad idea. However, killing you will be easier." Xiao Yan grinned. The next instant, his smile was withdrawn before it turned into a chill that shook one's heart. A hot hidden force swiftly invaded the Northern Dragon King's head, turning the interior into a complete mess. Even though the Northern Dragon King's soul was swiftly vaporized into nothing by the terrifyingly high temperature of the purifying demonic lotus flame. Xiao Yan withdrew his hand while he stood in the emptiness. The body of the Northern Dragon King in front of him slowly collapsed like a pile of mud. Xiao Yan's tightly clenched fist was slowly relaxed, revealing two beads containing a bloody stench. They were both filled with a violent energy. The surroundings were completely quiet. Many pairs of eyes stared at the Northern Dragon King, whose eyes were still wide open and filled with a ruthlessness. All of them sighed. This Northern Dragon King might have been extremely ruthless, but he was still a dignified expert. However, this dignified expert would not be left with a good reputation within the ancestral books of the ancient dragon tribe. Xiao Yan's crystal-clear body gradually paled. He returned to his original form. An ashen expression appeared on his face. After which, he glanced at the Northern Dragon King's body in his hand and lifted his brows with a great interest. This body was not a bad treasure. Ziyang hurried over in a flash while Xiao Yan was holding the corpse of the Northern Dragon King. Her eyes were complicated as she glanced at the Northern Dragon King, whose face still contained a dark, ruthless, and ferocious appearance. She softly sighed. The ancient void dragon had been battered after so many years of internal strife. The disappearance of the Dragon Emperor back then had left the tribe in turmoil, a harrowing problem. 50 to 60% of those from the Northern Dragon Island have already been killed by the Northern Dragon King. This adds to the serious damage our ancient dragon tribe has already suffered. Fortunately, the Western and Southern Islands have not suffered as many losses. This time around, the three great dragon kings have all been killed. No one will be able to stop the tribe from being united. Ziyang glanced at the dragon island below, which was still covered in a bloody aura, as she softly analyzed the situation. Xiao Yan slowly nodded. Although the Eastern Dragon Island had been victorious, the price of this victory cost Ziyang far too much. As the Dragon Emperor, she put the needs of the tribe first. Regardless of whether it was the Eastern Dragon Island or the other three Dragon Islands, every person belonged to the ancient Void Dragon tribe. It is ultimately a good beginning. With you, the Dragon Emperor, uniting the ancient Dragon clan, it is not impossible for the tribe to regain its glory. Xiao Yan was quiet for a moment. All he could do was attempt to comfort her. He knew that the strength of the ancient Void Dragon tribe was no longer what it had been in the past after experiencing the chaos from the three great dragon kings, but he could not damage Ziyang's confidence at this moment. Ziyang softly sighed. She was aware of the differences between the current ancient Void Dragon tribe and the one in the past. It should be known that the ancient dragon tribe at its peak was comparable to a super faction like the GU clan, but the experts of her tribe had either died or had scattered. It would be difficult for her to hold it together alone. There was just no telling how long it would take to recover to its peak. Ha ha, you should not remain depressed. You possess the legendary Dragon Phoenix constitution. As long as you are given sufficient time, you will be able to surpass the previous Dragon Emperors. At that time, recovering the ancient dragon tribe to its peak will no longer be empty words. Xiao Yan patted Ziyang's head and laughed. Ziyang smiled upon hearing these words. She braced her attention since Xiao Yan was right. Although the present situation of the ancient dragon tribe was not very good, she still possessed the legendary dragon phoenix bloodline. If she unleashed this bloodline to its limit, she would not be inferior to any dragon emperors. This included her missing father, whom she had never met, the previous dragon emperor. Thank you very much. If the both of you had not hurried over, a smile rose onto Ziyang's face as she replied with words of thanks. There is no need to say such courteous words to me. Xiao Yan shook his head. Suddenly, he waved the Northern Dragon King's corpse in his hand at Ziyang and asked, "Can you give this to me?" Ziyang was startled upon hearing this question. She was confused and asked, "What do you need his corpse for? This fellow has an unbelievable constitution. He has even been tempered by the transforming dragon demon formation and is now frighteningly strong. If he can be refined into a puppet, it would be an extremely strong one." Xiao Yang hesitated and explained. The sky demon puppets he owned had been left in the star realm as guards. The ingredients that were used to refine them limited the growth of the sky demon puppet to the Dozun class. It was impossible for them to advance any further. A helper of that strength was completely useless to the current Xiao Yang. Hence, he had come up with the idea of refining the Northern Dragon King's corpse into a puppet. After all, the Northern Dragon King had already died and could only be used as trash. According to the rules, strong ancient dragons are normally buried within the dragon tomb. Ziyang knit her brows and glanced at Xiao Yang's helpless face. However, you have lent a hand to our tribe this time around and it is only right for you to ask for a reward. Currently, those from the tribe hate this person. If I were to really bring him back, I don't think he would be allowed to be buried in the dragon tomb. You can take his body if you have a need for it. Ha ha, in that case, I will thank your majesty, the Dragon Emperor. Xiao Yan smiled and replied after listening to this girl's official response. Ziyang laughed in a delicate voice, "The both of you should rest on the Eastern Dragon Island for now. The 3 great dragon kings have already been killed. I will need to start the preparations for reorganizing the 4 great dragon islands." Xiao Yang smiled and nodded. There was still something he needed to do within this empty realm. In any case, he had no pressing matters at this moment. He would refine this puppet before leaving. In the future, the puppet would be a good helper when he fought against others. Ziyang chatted with Xiao Yang for a moment after he nodded. After which, she organized the experts within the tribe and then entered the Northern Dragon Island after the bloody Do Chi scattered. They were going to find the tribe members who had luckily survived. After the 3 great dragon kings were killed, the ancient Void Dragon tribe, which had been dealing with serious internal strife, finally cleared all obstacles. The 4 great dragon islands ceased voicing any objections because of Ziyang's title as the Dragon Emperor. The Northern Dragon King had slaughtered the members of the tribe and had chilled the hearts of all the ancient Void Dragons. Naturally, no one was furious over his death. The Western and Southern Dragon Kings had both perished to the hands of the Northern Dragon King. This news would undoubtedly make the Northern Dragon King more hated. With the urging from so many factors, the unification of the 4 great dragon islands was unexpectedly smooth. The 4 great dragon islands that floated in the empty realm were merged together with the help of the combined might of many of the tribe experts. From this moment on, the ancient Void Dragon tribe could finally be considered reunified. In the future, there would no longer be 4 great dragon islands. There would only be 1 ancient dragon island. While the ancient Void Dragon tribe was extremely busy with the unification process, Xiao Yang and Kailin chose to remain on the dragon island. Xiao Yang rested for a couple of days and returned to his peak condition. This time around, the aim of his retreat was to refine a puppet using the body of the Northern Dragon King. The strength of the Northern Dragon King when he was alive had almost reached the 6th star of the Doshin class. Xiao Yan had become excited because the physical body of this king was many times stronger than an ordinary 6-star Doshin. This body was the best material to refine a puppet with. If it could be successfully refined, it would undoubtedly be a great help to Xiao Yan. This puppet would be extremely important to both him and the Sky Mansion Alliance. Xiao Yan's expression was solemn as he stood in a chamber. The air in front of him contained hundreds of objects that were flickering with mysterious glows. These glowing objects were the ingredients needed to refine a puppet. A top-quality body like the Northern Dragon King was extremely rare, so Xiao Yan naturally needed to use the best ingredients in order to refine this body. Xiao Yan's eyes carefully swept over those ingredients in front of him. He verified that everything was present before nodding with satisfaction. He had rummaged through the stores of the Dragon Island in order to collect these ingredients. Just thinking of the pained eyes of the warehouse guarding elder caused Xiao Yan to involuntarily laugh out loud. Xiao Yan only waved his hand after completing his check. A figure, which was many times stronger than an ordinary person, floated in front of him. This was the main ingredient required to refine the puppet, the body of the Northern Dragon King. The current Northern Dragon King's eyes were both tightly shut. His expression was pale and void of life. However, his body was still tense. It was impossible to leave behind a scar even if one hacked at it with a knife. The physical body of this Dragon King had already been strengthened to a frightening level. At the very least, Xiao Yan admitted he was no match for it. The ancient Void Dragon tribe was indeed blessed by a strong physical body. Xiao Yan swept his eyes over the Northern Dragon King's head. Those three faces still appeared a little ferocious at this moment. He involuntarily shook his head. The reason this person's physical body was so strong was because he had devoured the Western and Southern Dragon King's blood and flesh. Xiao Yan widened his mouth after withdrawing his gaze. A cluster of pink flames was spat out of his mouth. After which, they swelled with the wind and turned into a huge furnace in the air. Subsequently, he waved his hand and threw the body of the Northern Dragon King into the furnace. The skin of the Northern Dragon King erupted with a sizzling sound the moment the Northern Dragon King's body entered the fire cauldron. Strands of blood continued to flow out before vanishing into nothing because of the high temperature. Xiao Yan was expressionless as this blood disappeared. He had refined a puppet in the past and naturally understood that this was a tempering process. After being refined by his heavenly flame, the body of the Northern Dragon King would become even more terrifying. This tempering process might appear simple, but it lasted for a total of 10 days. Xiao Yan did not rest during this period as he continued to use the purifying demonic lotus flame to grill the Northern Dragon King's body. After 10 days of grilling, the originally strong body of the Northern Dragon King seemed to have shrunk by 3 layers. Even though his body had shrank, it still appeared a little stronger than an ordinary person. Xiao Yan calmly studied the Northern Dragon King's body, which seemed like black metal, from outside of the cauldron. Even though no dough-chi surrounded it, the body's glaring appearance was still incomparable. The blood within the body had been grilled until it has entered all the muscles and bones. This body will really be a perfect killing machine, Xiao Yan smiled as he examined the black body, which radiated a pressure. He smiled and even his black eyes contained a strange smile. He immediately waved his hand and the purifying demonic lotus flame that had been wrapped around the body slowly paled. Bang! The moment that the purifying demonic lotus flame completely vanished, the Northern Dragon King suddenly opened his tightly shut eyes within the fire cauldron. A familiar pair of scarlet eyes belonging to the Northern Dragon King appeared and a strange sinister laugh followed. Xiao Yan, thank you for helping this king complete this temperament. In order to thank you, I shall show you just how frightening this body is. TSK, if you need someone to blame it on your arrogance in merely scattering this king's soul. Our ancient void dragon's body is our soul and our soul is our body. The strong body that was covered in a black metal-like luster within the fire cauldron wildly laughed at the sky. A punch was thrown forward and caused the fire cauldron to collapse. His large hand reached for Xiao Yan. The dead Northern Dragon King was revived.